Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Party Invite Show, a video podcast hosted by me, Tegan, and I'm joined pretty much every single week by Vilos over here.
I guess that's me. Yeah.
We switch spots, so we forget who we are. And Sovereign Sid down here.
It's a me.
And Toadster Probes, we're talking about the Mario movie today. Vilos and Sav both went to see that, so we'll chat about that as our party topic. Before that, we've got what we've been playing, where we've each got a game lined up. And then Blissen Up, where we always start the show with something that made us smile. So I want to start with something that made me smile. It's Terra Nil. Terranil is a game that was published by Devolver Digital. Came out this week. It almost looks like a phone game. It is available on mobile. It's on like Netflix games, but it is a terraforming game. It says it's a city building game. I don't know if those are quite the right words, but if you like city builders, you will also probably like this game. You are on a planet that I don't think is Earth, but it's unclear. And you're trying to terraform, right? So you're generating power, and you're using that power to create water and grass and trees and do things with animals and all of this. I'm going to get the trailer up here in a second, but it looks good. It has gotten a huge marketing push from Devolver. And because Devolver knows that I love all their stuff, I've just seen it everywhere this week. Well, so has everybody else, because it received so much attention on Steam on the day of release that it crashed the page. That it just totally took the thing down. Everything was on pause, which is a great problem to have, you know? Let's get this trailer up here. Boom. So yeah, this game just looks pretty. It's got gameplay and cinematic artsy stuff mixed in here. But this is a game that's right up my alley as someone who has real strong opinions on, reducing waste and preserving the earth and stuff. This is great. This is speaking my language. We've been playing games like Sons of the Forest and Valheim, where half the game is you just clear cutting the forest to be able to build stuff. And even though those games have no real repercussions at all for just chopping down the whole forest, it still pains me because I like the pretty trees, and when all the pretty trees are chopped down, I am sad. Well, this game allows me to turn that frown upside down and feel good about building this ecosystem, and then when you're all done, you take all your machinery with you and you get the hell out of Dodge. You leave without a trace. So all those things sound great to me. I love the without a trace mantras, and this just looks like a nice, chill way to kind of get my fix on that. A game that I can relax to. It says it's a complex strategy game, which does not surprise me. I remember playing a game called Rias on the PS4 that was all about biomes and mixing them and seeing how different minerals and land types and all of these things interact with each other. It was a little too slow. It was kind of hard and definitely too slow. Like I fell asleep almost every single time I played, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I never made any progress with it because it took too long to relearn every time. So I'm hoping Terra Nil will solve that problem. But yeah, the fact that they got so much attention on day one that they crashed on Steam is just wonderful to see.
So like at the end of that trailer, it's telling you all the platforms and stuff it's available on. And I saw like Netflix on there.
Mm-hmm.
What?
In fact, because Netflix has a bunch of, it has a game section now. We could look up some stuff. We've talked about it in the past, actually. There was a game, there were a few things on there that, like Moonlighter. I remember Moonlighter went to Netflix games. There are other ones on there if anybody wants to look it up. But
I don't recall that at all. Wow.
Yeah. When I looked up the trailer on YouTube, the first one I found was the Netflix game one, and it was funny because I took a screenshot of it. Let's see if I can find it. It's like exclusively on Netflix. It says play exclusively on Netflix, and I'm like, bruh, that is a demonstrably false claim. Like, straight up, I read a news article that talked about crashing Steam. Don't try to tell me that it's exclusively on Netflix games. But yeah, you can play this game all over the place. And, here I am imagining, was Devolver, like, in almost it's over the top, almost satirical of itself way, where they like, oh, and it's gonna be on everything, especially Netflix. You know, the article that talked about the crash mentioned that the dev who I think it's Free Lives is the name of the developer, that they're a very very small team, and that it may have been overly ambitious for them to release the game on mobile and PC at the same time, but they did, and so they're going to take a well-deserved break and just work on fixing bugs and stuff instead of working on additional content. And good for them. The article pointed out it was like how appropriate that a company that made a game about you know environmental conscientiousness would also go out of their way to like take care of their employees. So feels good.
Okay, so I wanted to address what I am seeing so far on their Twitter after Nerd says comment. I'm going to drop this link here that's actually from their Twitter, just a really cool custom built PC that they made. Um, that looks ridiculous, but it looks like because they have this thing to plant. My camera is in my fucking way. There's a thing uh, to stream Terranil and contribute to trees being planted around the world. And it said, what does it say? It says like Tree Warrior Project or something like that is part of this. So maybe that's the value proposition thing that they're doing with the
Yeah,
game.
they said like seven
I
percent
hope.
of sales go to uh, the environment, essentially.
Vilas is really up in here like,
Well, it's my damn cable. I have a micro HDMI cable on my camera, and it's like it's literally going around in places that I hate. But it says something like actually the way that you plant the trees in the game is dealing with this whole thing. Maybe it's not just whatever money they're making; it's actually something in game too.
Okay, well, I'll report back to you next week because I'm interested to hear more about that stuff. And yeah, I'm always interested in these ways where the gaming world and the green world collide. It's been a complicated few years with like Bitcoin stuff, where it was always in the news a lot how crypto mining was having a horrible impact on the environment because it is massively resource intensive. It just consumes a huge amount of electricity. Fortunately, for people like me, crypto's kind of fallen off, so that's like not as big of an issue anymore. People aren't just like basically just creating power draws in their homes, professionally. So I kind of like that whole sphere. So anybody, anytime something comes up, please send it my way. I'm very interested in that stuff. So yeah, I'll report back next week and see. I bet they'll publish how much they've donated based on sales. So sales being good is also good for the environment. I'm only buying the game to support the environment, just so everyone knows. You know,
Yeah, exclusively. Yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing you're getting out of this at all.
No,
no, not at all.
it's not. I'm completely selfless on this one.
You're not even gonna play the game. Just be like, bam, take that environment.
Yeah,
Yeah, developer's like, okay,
just like, oh, damn.
I'm like whatever, man.
Yeah. So excited for that. That's just good stuff to see. I never heard of that game until this week when they did the marketing push. So good for them. It's Devolver. That game is Terra Nil. 2 words. NIL. All right. Well, Sav, what's good? You got something on here?
Yeah. So in the complete opposite direction, I got my car worked on.
Ew.
So, I'm gonna be driving a lot more and putting off them carbon emissions and contributing to global warming. So yeah. No, but for like the last couple of months, my car, Saoirse, has been making like this really, really loud grinding noise, like on its front tire,
Oh,
on
it
its
goes
part.
faster when it makes that sound.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
well, you'd like
it's
to
a
think
boost
so.
to speed.
It's like fire paint, but with sound. But no, I finally bit the bullet and took it in there, and it turns out like its wheel bearing was all jacked up and like grody and dirty and like misaligned and things like that. So they took care of it, and when I tell you, I drove off that parking lot and I almost cried because it was such a quiet ride. I was just like, I'm not gonna be turning no heads for the wrong reasons when I pass people by now. Now people are gonna be turning to be looking at me at the driver's seat being all cute. Instead of being like, what the heck is why
Well,
is that pterodactyl on the road? Like what
Oh, that's good. Yeah. I like that idea of you put like a really loud muffler on something to just like make it sound. To me, anytime I hear like those terrible car sounds, that people do on purpose, I'm just like, oof, you're trying to make it sound broken, huh? You know. So happy to have a quiet ride.
Yes, I can finally listen to like my like video game music without blasting it at like 40 volume. Oh, it's so good.
Oh
But
goodness.
speaking of video game music, the other thing I have on here is that this weekend I'm going to like one of these big shindigs that my friend throws like maybe twice a year. They're like super duper huge rhythm game parties. And like this guy, I tell you, when he lives in basically a cathedral, it's crazy. Like the last time I went, this was a couple of years ago. I think he's since moved to a different house, so I don't know what this one's like. But the last one he had it at was literally like 3 floors, and it had an elevator in the house. This is a house, by the way, and it had an elevator in there, and like a lit pool that had like, LED lighting, RGB lighting, and it was heated and like it was awesome. Everything was like hardwood and like marble, and it was just like big, this huge mansion. And it was just a bunch of nerds in there playing video games, like, DDR and in the groove and pump it up and things like that. And I think the last time that I went, there was a developer for a new game that was coming out called Pulsend, and he was actually showcasing it there. So it's almost like a rhythm game convention. Uh, hmm. I haven't actually heard anything about that game since I've been. So either it changed its name or like it's still being worked on, which would be so weird because it was like 5 or 6 years ago. Um, yeah, I guess that's true. So they're really working on, that tree chopping engine, for the best survival experience. Hey, we got the segues, which is another video. Anyway, or Vilos.
That's good. I just made a
Steven, you're
great
muted.
transition and nobody heard it because I was muted. Thank you, everybody. I love hosting a podcast, everybody, because it's just, I get to find new, actually old, exciting ways to embarrass myself. Oh my gosh.
Good job, chat. You're very welcome.
Thank
You
you, chat.
missed everything that
Okay,
he said,
well,
and it's
though,
wonderful that you
oh man, how this is just the worst. Who lets me run this thing? Okay, well, to transition from one engine to another, I have been playing Noita a bunch, a game that I've talked about before. I've streamed here and there, but the engine on there keeps cracking me up because now that I've seen it, I see it every time the game loads up. They use an engine called it's like Falling Everything, I think. It's just a physics engine that they use that's very unique. But that game has just been treating me very well. I've been having a really good time playing that. I've also been watching that. Recently got Fuzzy Man Peach here in chat to play that game, and so having more people to watch is just the best. Let's get. I'll get a thing up here in a second, but Noida is a 7-year-old game or something. I feel like when I don't know how old a game is when it's been out for a while, I just need to say it's 7 years old because that's how every survival game is. It's like, oh, when did this come out? Oh, 7 years ago. Um, Noida's been out for a long time, and it already had its final update a little while ago. But it is a game where you discover wands and potions, which you can mix and use in all sorts of clever ways. And in so doing, you're trying to climb lower and lower underneath this mountain to find, to get more powerful and get to whatever the end is. I have not seen the end. But Noida's awesome. In fact, it has a daily challenge, just like a lot of roguelikes. And Deadpool and I hopped in Discord 2 nights ago, last night. I don't know. They run together, and we both streamed the daily because we're playing the same seed, playing the same game. We stream that to each other at the same time, so trying to give each other tips like, hey, if you go to the left, there's a wand over here, or don't go over here, there's a bunch of explosives. And I've never done that with a daily in any game before, and it was a whole lot of fun. So shout out to Deadpool for playing that alongside me. I would definitely do that again. But Noita was great. We streamed it on Monday. You can watch it here on Twitch. But I made a little video. It's about a minute and a half long, something like that, that we're gonna watch. I feel pretty good about this one. So let's get the sound on and check me out. You know, things started so well, and can you guess what direction they went in?
Um,
Gang, gang.
a good
I've
one.
never summoned these. Yes, it's a very good one. Man, look at my
Spoiler alert.
squad
It's
here.
not.
Is the direction up or
I've never
down?
summoned these the pink ones before. Yes. This is the orb.
Oh,
I
okay.
think you mouse
Just
over it. It
making
says it hums slightly. What happens if you kick it? You wonder. I'm pretty sure I've kicked this and it's just exploded on me. You guys are doing great. Just everybody stick together. Strength in numbers. Everybody's got a buddy. Look for the one that looks like you. Okay, I see 2 of you. You guys are good. You guys kept your buddies. Look, I should have brought chaperones on this field trip. Come on. Come on, everybody. Like, I think it's this. Whoa, those are huge pieces of gold. Do I cut my losses? Sweet. Oh, stay back. Oh, my friend. Guys, stay back. Don't look. Don't look over here. Oh, they looked. No, don't go down. Oh, man. Oh, they're never going to forget this. Okay, I should have cut my losses. What? You guys are attacking each other?
Why is the gold
No!
explosive?
It's
Uh,
Oh, he's not my friend anymore.
Oh,
Well, I'll tell you a second. So sad. You ready for this? What was in there? Did I have some of the oil from the enemy's cocktail? My
It's
water
the most
potion
Noita
just
thing ever.
shot fire, and it's not what I was expecting. Guys, what did I do? I blew it. What did I do?
I don't know what I expected.
So what happened there? I decided to put dynamite on a wand that had a bunch of fire spells on it, right? But my wand only fires one spell at a time, so I thought I could shoot the dynamite and then light it on fire. No big deal. Turns out, if your dynamite wand has any fire in it at all, it just immediately explodes on your body. So that's what happened there. That was rough. So yeah, what you were looking at there was me summoning a bunch of friendly dudes to go fight for me, and I tried to corral them as best I could. Did I do a good job? Questionable. But then I found this orb, this golden orb that the game tells you to kick. So when I kicked it, it has an increasing chance to explode, I have discovered, with the help of chat, actually. And, well, I just kicked it too many times, and it blew up on me. All my allies betrayed me. I guess the timer that they're charmed kind of ran out, apparently. And then the last thing, yeah, I fired that dynamite weapon by accident. I wasn't even trying to use that wand, and it was all over so quickly. I watched Fuzzy playing, and he had a build where he was his body was immune to electricity, but it would just constantly shoot out electricity all the time. So if he was near water or blood or anything else that can conduct metal, steel is in here, it would just zap everything, and by zapping everything, it would explode like steel barrels full of oil. It would, any lanterns nearby, they would just pop. It was very dangerous. Fires would be started. It was legendary. But yeah, check this out. Like, everything's totally normal. I'm having a great, spectacular run. And then, well, let me just use this wand real quick. Instantly dead. No, there's no time to react at all. It's tough times.
I love that it actually left the wand like 5 inches before.
But I had a really good time playing that, and then I actually played a little bit of that earlier today, where I discovered a whole new area. There's an area of the game that is like spookily dark, like magically dark. Normal lights and spells do not illuminate it at all. For some reason, it was illuminated today. I have no idea what I did differently, but I was able to explore that area. It was very dangerous. I found, I posted a screenshot in our Discord, but I found an Easter egg for like a hidden object, and the picture of the object I didn't realize what it looked like until I read the tablet next to it. But it looks like the holy hand grenade from Monty Python. It's just a hand grenade with a cross at the top, and then when the tablet that's in like a mysterious language, and then you sit there for a second, and then it appears in English. The entire wall of text on the screen is straight up the script from there, where it's like, and you will throw the holy hand grenade on 3, not 2, not 4, definitely not 5, but 3. Of course I'm messing it up, but I read that, I was just like, is this real right now? Like, I thought at first I saw like the line of it, and I was like, oh, this is, making a reference to Monty Python, and then I realized that it was the entire little monologue that they just put there for fun. So what does the spell do? I don't know, because I was afraid to pick it up, because normally when you pick those up, big boss shows up, and I was not ready to fight a big boss. But yeah, made fun progress. I made weird spells. I just had some amazing fireworks, some of which hurt me, some did not. That I'm gonna pipe through the internet soon. But yeah, playing and editing that Noita footage is a lot of fun. It's just so often spectacular in very surprising ways. So yeah, if you like any of that stuff that you saw, go check it out. Noita, Noita. I don't know. I think it's like 15 or $20 on Steam or something. It's totally worth that if you like roguelikes and physics-based games. It's awesome. So, yeah, that's it for me. I played a bunch of stuff. We played Sons of the Forest. We're gonna have our final scheduled Sons of the Forest session tomorrow night, and then we'll just put Sons of the Forest into our rotation along with other survival games like Project Zomboid and Don't Starve and all that stuff. So. Yeah, played that and Overwatch. The Overwatch season's about to end. We were talking before the show about a new character that was just announced, so that stuff's all fun. But yeah, Noita took the cake. Well, that's enough for me. Vilos, what if we hop over to you first and we talk about El Paso Nightmare?
Sure. Yeah, El Paso Nightmare is a short precursor to Strange Scaffold's newest game coming up called El Paso Elsewhere. This is a game that I've been watching for quite a while now. Uh, El Paso Elsewhere, El Paso Nightmare being what it is.
Wait,
It's not
wait, what did you just
even
say? Are those two different games?
Yes, two different games.
Okay.
Nightmare is just this playful little thing that the developer made um, to basically get hype and do a few things in order to get El Paso Elsewhere together as a game because it's very unique these days. So, Strange Scaffold is the studio name for one of my faves, for Xavier Nelson Jr. Of
What is it?
Space Warlord Urban Trading
Scary
Simulator.
scaffold? Strange
Strange Scaffold.
strange scaffold. Gosh, those are both weird. Like
So of course the dude that I always talk about, though, Xavier Nelson Jr. Uh, he's he's doing a lot with El Paso Elsewhere, including he's actually putting his own voice into the game, literally now. And El Paso Nightmare starts off with a little bit of that characterization of him doing the voice work for this main character. So El Paso Nightmare, you start off in this little survival horror sort of section, as you can see here on the video. There's very little to do in this game in general, but it starts with
the
you
real
just
nightmare is
picking
that
up.
it's barely a game.
Yeah, it kind of actually is. Um, it's very low poly, as you can tell. It looks like a 64 game or maybe a PS1 game. Um,
Oh,
it's
that
very
mirror looks
reminiscent
good.
of.
That's some good mirror physics or
Yeah, there's basically
texture.
no textures in this entire game. It's really funny.
So you play as a
Um,
vampire. That's cool.
and so, as you can see here, you pick up an ice bucket and just has just some ice as your main goal in the very beginning, because the whole point is you don't know what you're doing. Your head is hurting, so you start taking these pills, um, and you decide to run around this hotel. You have no idea what's going on. You just got to find the ice since you have your bucket there, right? And you actually, here in a second, there's the first moment. So There's a little scary thing at the end of the hallway, and you have to find out how to get out of there. The whole rest of the game is you exiting your situation, um, and
You know, you
it's
can say that
really
about a
just
lot of video games.
Casual blood,
yeah.
it's fine. It's fine.
And the main character is actually narrating that kind of stuff like pretty often. Like Xavier Nelson, he's got a great presence and his voice is awesome. And so him, just being this character that's in disbelief of what's going on, is one of the saving graces of this game because El Paso Nightmare is kind of just a tech demo of a game.
Yeah.
Um, it tests a few things out, like I said, that's gonna be in El Paso elsewhere. Because El Paso elsewhere, if you see the trailer sometime, I've shared it, but we're probably going to get a longer one here soon with the upcoming Gorilla Collective, the mix, um, like direct showcases or whatever are coming up. We'll see more about El Paso elsewhere very soon. So just keep an eye out. But that game is actually a third person Max Payne like, which is a weird thing to say, but it's literally it's a Max Payne like because that's the one way to describe that game.
And
But
what are those
it's
again?
trippy
That's
and
like
everything.
kind of like the Matrix sort of.
Third person slow mo bullet time sort of situation. Yeah,
Whoa! Did
and
your
so, huh?
I, okay?
So
Hold
you
on.
kind of
Did
died a little.
Yeah, I did die,
yeah? Let's see what's going
and
on. This is spooky. Are you getting? What are you getting attacked by?
It's like something that's some like hobgoblin or something that's just been
yeah,
like
it's that little Silent Hill looking creature that has been following me. That I thought I escaped. Um, the one thing about this game is that in this beginning section, they barely follow you. They otherwise they kind of keep on their own little track.
Uh huh.
But once you get out of this hotel section, it actually turns into a wave mode, endless game until
Excuse me.
you figure out how to get out. And I know how to get out, except this is why we go over the what we've been playing because I cannot recommend this game really. It's a $5 game. If you are good enough to get if you're good enough to get through it, you can get through it in under an hour. But you might be frustrated as hell doing so,
Yeah.
like I am. And I like reading through the Steam reviews and stuff. Like, I'm not really a Steam review person as far as posting them, and this one I'm probably not going to. But I support Xavier Nelson Jr. like in every way on the games that he
I
makes.
mean, look, he
But this
made
one is
an
just
airport for aliens currently run by dogs.
yeah,
Like, what do you?
yeah.
What's not to like?
But this particular thing again, it's barely a game, so things don't 100% work, right? So with this, if you do want to skip forward some, you'll see that in this mode, you'll see me actually get out of this hotel. Um, the thing is that the AI is coded in such a way that the enemies, because they don't stop spawning, the enemies will eventually just cover you up. And when they get to a certain distance from you and they're all around you direction wise, you actually can't reload your weapon and you can't move. The game will literally soft lock you until you're dead in many, many sections.
That's not good.
If you're in a vague corner, if you're like, oh, I took a wrong right, you know, um, then you're done for. It'll just happen. Because every hit, oh my god, camera, really,
What's
really,
going on over
what's
there?
going
I don't
on
know
over
why it's
there?
doing.
That is
All right, there we go.
Oh, he's back.
But every time you're hit, it's like I think it's either 7 or 15 damage, and you only have 100 health total. So the whole game, you are picking up ammo, picking up what you saw there, the golden, the glowing hearts, and picking up pills. That's the
Oh,
entirety of the
that's
game.
spooky.
You're doing that, and you're trying to get the hell out. You're trying to find exits. Um, and so once you're in the endless section, you're killing monsters, constantly needing ammo, constantly needing pills because you're constantly being hit, and constantly trying to figure out where's the right door that I need to get out of here. Um, and I am like 5 minutes. I am like 5 minutes away from finding the right door. I know I am,
You're like, I'm literally
and
playing
I
What
right
does
now.
the right door look like? I mean, are there any like context clues? Like, are there visual oral hints that you could like use to decipher?
barely. That's the thing. It's not as intuitive as you would want it to be for being a game that has no fucking map and no real sense of direction. Um,
It's a good combination.
because you're in just a wide open area. Once we get out of this hotel, you're in this wide open area that is the one thing that does set things apart is that um it changes environments kind of as far as the visuals go. So you go from what looks like mostly a graveyard cemetery situation.
Oh, spooky.
Um,
Holy shoot.
if
Oh,
you
crap. Oh, God. That's a funny subtitle.
so when you do find the correct places to progress through, it's a different area looks wise. There's one that's like a library. There's one that's Egyptian inspired.
As you do.
Like
Ooh,
then there's one that's like a Vaticanish churchy thing,
yeah.
or
Uh,
cathedralish church,
More
not
like a
Vaticanish.
Vatican. Ha.
Pretty much. And then there's a meat room
Oh,
where
you got to have a meat room.
there's a lot of meats just hanging.
So cheese
But the
room.
thing is that the hearts that you pick up glow different colors because as you can see, there's doors of different colors. So if you miss a heart, you got to go back and figure out where the hell it was, and then go back to the door if you're lucky enough.
So
And
so the whole game is trial and error?
it really is, and I hate that.
It
It
doesn't seem great.
I hate that with like a lot of the games that come out now are like that, and it's like,
Remember
guys, you
when?
gotta make stuff intuitive and accessible, and it's not making things easy. It's making things logically make sense.
Yeah.
You're
Remember when?
wasting my time otherwise.
Remember when I played the? It's like a song of fire and ice. It's like basically
Oh,
that.
that rhythm game.
Yeah, and Violet's just got to
Yeah.
watch me lose over and over and over on the final level. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. Don't go in there.
They're just having a
Yeah.
kiki, a little banquet. Like
They
it's
gotta
just a
lock the
party.
door. Yeah, they gotta lock the door for that. But yeah, Violet's just got to watch me lose that over and over, and helpless because the only thing I can do is just not mess up. Like that's literally there's no leveling up my character, so there's a better chance of victory. There are no hints or any handicaps that I can activate to
Oh my
make it
god.
more accessible. And so like I'm thinking of that while you're talking about this because you're just walking around mashing, just hoping that you see and find the correct item in a maze, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this has a layout and it's simple, like inside the back rooms was that we played together, and they're naturally conducive to panic. Like you don't know where you are. It's poorly lit. It's intended to scare you. So the fact that there aren't really any hints in multiplayer, I don't really care because I'm laughing with my friends. Even when I get scared, I'm laughing. But yeah, I could see why you would not recommend this game.
Yeah. And so
Oh
like in
my
the
god.
beginning here,
Through the door. Why did that happen? I'm so mad.
you're already getting pissed for me. But thankfully, I died exactly in the checkpoint, so it actually let me continue there. Um,
It pushed you through the checkpoint.
yeah.
It was just like you might be saving your progress, but you're gonna die.
And so you can see that there are different enemy types. There's this sorcerer lady that you have literally no understanding of. Um, there's no explanations or anything. There's no written stuff. It's just what your character says. And again, there's some good stuff about it, but there's so many maybe purposefully janky things in it because it is really just a test of a game.
Yeah.
That
Is this the
there's
next
definitely so many
PT?
things to no.
Oh, what?
But El Paso elsewhere is going to be nice. Like I know it's going to be a really fun time. It's just that they really like cut their teeth on gameplay mechanics in this. I think
Yeah. So can you tell me
um,
about El Paso elsewhere?
not a
Oh,
whole lot because it really is like all we really know for sure is the trailer and what Xavier Nelson constantly talks about in his TikTok and Twitter and stuff like that. Um, but it's like if
Oh
you
my
if you
god.
want Max Payne with a black protagonist, that's what you're going to get, and that's what the point of it was
Yeah.
really. Um, and
Oh
it's gonna
my
be great.
gosh, dude. I'm
But
frustrated for you just watching this
like
video.
Wait,
things in this game
what you
are
turning
yeah,
around for exit?
you're seeing how the enemies are doing their shit, right?
Are you
Like,
just supposed to lock them in rooms? Like, what are you supposed to do?
yeah, you have to get in the room and hopefully turn around fast enough to close the door
Oh, so
because
you
that
can't
actually
exit
will
without
stop
the
them.
enemies. Okay.
But yeah,
I have a question.
yeah.
Do you ever find some damn ice? Like you have been carrying this bucket throughout the whole video.
No, I forget what once you get through the actual exit in this hotel, the ice part's over and you just have weapons
Well, I wonder
Oh,
if you
that you pick
can
up.
find ice. I wonder if there's like somewhere in the game it's like a secret hidden
I think there
room or
is.
something.
He does that shit in his games all the time, so there probably is a secret for that somewhere in these halls in this very beginning. But
It kind of
uh,
reminds me of like the
yeah,
Stanley Parable where you have like it's like, oh, you better take that bucket. Like you have to go into a closet and like the narrator's just like
yeah,
instructing you over and over to take the bucket. You cannot leave the closet, although you can if you wait long enough without the
yeah.
bucket. And he's like, oh, okay, well, you better take that bucket. Oh God, what is
oh, that's a
happening
haunted
here?
bed.
Yeah, this part's pretty fun to
Spooky.
look at.
You know what? Odysseus brought this up in chat. In our Discord, we've solidified the term barotrauma like, or it's certainly the concept of it. Which now wow, that stuff's off the rails right now. This video's nuts. Oh, are they kissing? I hope they're kissing. Um, this game's weird. So barotrauma like is now going to mean any game that we really want to like, but we just cannot like it. It just won't let us like it. Because we have given barotrauma a fair shake several times now over the past like month or two, and every time we log in, we are just brutally crushed. Like there's no oh we almost had it. It's like this game seems like it's broken because like I don't even see what else we could have done to make that more enjoyable. We just got
Exactly.
murdered.
And now you see that I'm officially into the nightmare mode, which I ended up going through. I probably died 8 or 9 different times. My best was surviving 9 waves. I don't know what that means as far as if that's good. I just know I played it for like 2 hours and it does get exhausting. And it's just like, I just need to get through this one particular room that is very far away from this part of the video and I'll be solid. But yeah, it gets tough. Like the big thing is that you're literally like 1.2% the speed. Like you're like 1.2% faster than the fucking enemies. So if you turn around, in theory, you shouldn't slow down, but you actually do. If you're moving and you turn around at the same time, you lost speed and you'll get hit
Oh no.
every time. So when you're trying to shoot these guys, which are trailing you all the time, you
Yeah,
get
they're
hit
like an
almost
inch
every
away
time you
from
turn
you.
around.
Oh goodness, that's intense, my
Yeah,
friend.
and the reload speeds are stupid. The reloads glitch on you sometimes. You end up having like 6 weapons, I think, maybe 7. And you'll tap the button, which by the way on controller for some reason reload is B. The
Your
worst.
reload. Wait, what are you playing this on?
Reload is B
I mean, what
Oh,
on an
controller?
is it
Xbox controller.
on an
It's
Xbox controller?
B.
Is it B the is it the bottom face button?
No, it's the right
The
side
right face button.
button.
Okay. The bottom face button for B is Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
That's not. You know.
You press B to reload, and like I said, it doesn't catch every time when you try to reload. And the reloads, like every gun, is I don't think there's a gun that reloads faster than 3 seconds.
Oh boy,
Three
that's a long
seconds,
time,
and that's the pistol that you start with.
bruh.
Uh, the Uzi, sure you can get 60 bullets in it, but those 60 bullets are gone in like 1 second, and the reload on that is like 7 seconds. Like
Oh,
and you're just constantly picking up medicine and the pills and the ammo, and
supplies
it's
rain
still
from a
never enough.
broken sky. It said. This game's
Yeah,
weird,
and
man.
it does send you supplies, but then when you go to there, it starts spawning more enemies near them. So it's like,
But
why
that
am I
could.
doing this? So I think I'm probably just gonna turn on. There are mods for once you're in nightmare mode. So I'm gonna turn on infinite ammo tonight and just beat it and be like, okay, there we go, complete. Because I'm tired.
Yeah.
of going through it all. And if I experience the end, like I think it'll be much better.
You
It's
just
not
need the
bad.
closure, like the catharsis of the end.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not a bad game. It's just purposefully obtuse
Yeah.
because it's not a full game, and they actually do have it's actually part of it's in the Steam reviews and everything, but they do have a disclaimer at the very beginning. It's like, hey guys, this is a basically just marketing for El Paso Elsewhere.
Yeah.
Look forward to that game and refund this game if you need to,
Ah,
because like it straight up is like if you complete El Paso Nightmare within the first 2 hours, hey, good job. There you go. Just do it. So it's it is what it is. But I think it's been on sale for $4 as well. If you are interested, you can definitely get your money's worth out of it in the wave mode if you're into those kind of things. But just know it can definitely be frustrating. And if you're looking at the reticle on the screen, guess what? That's exactly where the bullet's going to go.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to move anywhere outside of that dot.
Lol.
I guarantee you. Like that's the other like major sticking point with how things have been coded. Like it's very particular.
Shells
But
in chat. I'm talking to her about Starbound, which is another game that we we played on stream almost like 2 years ago at this point. I mean, maybe not that long ago, but a long time. And another game where we're just like, bruh, there's a cool concept here, but why am I running into something really frustrating like every 20 to 30 minutes? Like something would just happen and it'd be like, wait, was this on purpose? You know? And like you had described that some of the jank in this game, you're like, was this on accident or
it's a very good question, but
who
I don't
knows?
actually think it was I don't think it was intended to even be released, but just
That's the
the
real
way
nightmare.
that
It
the
leaked.
development goes, like Strange Scaffold and Xavier himself, like they just do shit. Like the community loves them for good reason, and so if the community's like, "Hey, we kind of want to play that right now," I think they thought about it and they're like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
And get a little bit extra money to go towards our new game that's coming. So
Okay, well, cool. Well, that is El Paso Nightmare. Questionable is what that is.
yeah,
Did you? Was that free?
no, no.
$4 on sale. I
Four.
thought it was
Who
real
has
price.
$4? Okay, well. Well, that certainly is a video game.
It
Uh,
is.
Sav, what's good? So in the past you've been playing, what this in the past month you've probably talked about Leap, a cool shooter that blends a bunch of genres that is in early access, I believe. And I want to get a group together to play. You talked about you of course played DKO. I'm only mentioning this because it's not what you've written down here. You picked up uh, Thief Squad or whatever it is, the not Rogue Company game.
Veiled experts.
Veiled Experts. We came up with a bunch of names in chat. I wish I could remember them. And there was one more. Of course, we have played Exo Primal a few weeks ago, but
And the finals.
the finals, that one was cool. I mean, honestly, they were all three things that I would play. So you'd think, Sav, since you had joked that maybe you're like, oh, well, I have enough on my plate. Surely I won't play another new one for next week. Well, here we are next week. What are you playing?
So, I've got a new shooter for y'all. I promise I don't have a problem. They just keep coming out.
You know,
And like, I mean, the betas are right there. I just gotta I don't know.
It's almost like you're competitive or something. I
them's
don't
the
know.
rules.
I wouldn't say that. Why? Who said that?
Ooh, Urchins
I'll kill them.
Unlimited. Uh, Urchins Unlimited is what Odysseus had said last week. That's a good catch.
Oh, and then I think what was it, like the Crook Coalition or something like that?
They're real keepers. And
They
when
are. I love alliteration. Like it's good. It's the
we've
best
got to
like
tweet at
writing.
somebody. If anybody's got a game cooking, we got names for you.
We are the idea people. But no, so I do have a new shooter. For everybody this week, and I probably might have one next week. Who knows? Because I remember last week we kind of joked that I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I have a new shooter. It's called Deceiving," because Odie had mentioned it in the chat. But I've already talked about that game in the past. And the difference between then and now is that I think Deceiving Inc. is actually like massively available somehow. I don't know if it's like early access or beta or something.
Hmm.
But that's a fun game. But the game that I have that I played over the weekend is called Hyenas. And Hyenas, actually, I had learned about it when I was at TwitchCon, so like all the way back in October. And I never really had an opportunity to play it, even though they had like alpha weekends, like closed alpha weekends, um, pretty frequently since then. I never actually was able to sit down and play it until, that one day where we kind of like had that Discord call. And it's a lot of fun. It is published by Sega, and developed by Creative Assembly, who are responsible for the Total War games and Alien Isolation.
Hmm.
But like it's super duper Segafied. In fact, gosh, I'm not really sure how much I can say, but there are some because it's in closed alpha, like NDA style, y'all. So I'm gonna try and talk about it in a way that won't violate that. So I'm gonna let the trailers do most of the talking because the trailers are like officially released and therefore are a free game to be able to like educate y'all on what's happening. Um,
There we go.
but yeah, so basically the premise of the game is you are playing this like team of people who are invading this abandoned like metro area, and you're looting the area for different kinds of tchotchkes and loot and things that will like build what's called your clout. And once you have enough clout, you can escape. So it's an extraction shooter. Um, kind of like
Oh, as you said
the
that,
Cycle Frontiers and
the character was shooting like a glue gun, which is similar to the finals and Rainbow Six
Prey.
Extraction. Totes of probes.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Rainbow Six had one of those. I guess it's a common weapon type. I never really actually heard of goo guns until you played through Prey, and then goo stuff came out in the finals, and then Hyenas has this whole thing, and it is character based, so all the characters will have their different passives and active abilities that you can activate and things like that. But what makes this game really really fun is the mechanic of zero G. So it briefly mentions it in a trailer, but you don't actually get to see it in action. Um, until you actually play the game. And for some reason, there was a video that I saw. It was like a 9-minute long video that had like gameplay. And I was like, how did you get the authorization to post this? Because this NDA closed alpha. Like, what's going on? So I don't know if they were like a sponsored guy or something. But I didn't want us to be like smacked with an NDA thing. So I didn't link us that video.
Sure.
However, I do have for us a zero G trailer that kind of shows off a little bit of the gunplay
Hmm.
that you can come to expect while you're fighting a zero G. And it's not like Lawbreakers, because Lawbreakers had like a bunch of like grappling hook systems and things like that. This one you are fighting in fields of zero G. So there's areas in the game where it's just like normal gravity, but then you'll pass through into a field of zero G where you're free floating. You can control where you're going through like thrusters and magnets and hooks and things like that. But it's not equipment activated. It's just part of the maps.
What's a lot going on there?
Yeah, so much like the finals, it's a multi-team versus multi-team sort of affair. So like in the finals, it's like 3 teams or 4 teams of 3 against each other, and then you slowly whittle down the population from there. I'm not really sure how it works in Hyenas.
Hmm.
I just know that there are multiple teams competing to get the most clout and escape and extract with the victory loot, which is another similarity to Deceive Inc. because it is also an extraction shooter, except for it's more like espionage based, where all the characters are like spies and they have different gadgets and things like that. So, I mean, it seems like we're moving away from battle royale and going on to more tactical things like Rainbow Six and Rogue Company with like um field experts, or extraction shooters like the finals and Hyenas.
Yeah, I mean, even Exoprimal is a hero shooter. So like the hero shooters are just super in right now as well. Like not just the I don't know. Of course, you play a lot of brawlers, so I want to say that brawlers are really hot right now. But since you're always playing stuff that's like brand spanking new, it's hard for me to know if like if that because you're the trendsetter, you know. So is the trend caught on yet? So I don't know, but seeing all these games seems really cool because I generally think that hero shooters are a little more accessible to start at than some games. I mean, even like Halo, I would say, or Halo or Call of Duty could be like games that could be intimidating, where it's like if other people have already been playing this for a while, am I going to stand a chance? Am I going to understand all of the guns and all of this and that and the other? But when you have heroes, it's a little straight. It's a little more straightforward. Like heroes might have multiple abilities, but you know that that person has a set amount of moves. Um, so you can focus on those instead of focusing on 2 dozen guns that some games have. And sometimes it's both. Like Rogue Company does have a wide variety of that stuff, but um, you know, if there are two things you can count on in video games, it's hero shooters and games having an Egyptian level in them, right?
I mean, yeah, Egyptians, like Egyptian themes, hero shooters, and customization. That's all on the bingo card.
That's all. Yeah. Well, how did you find this game?
So, like I said, I first heard about it through TwitchCon. There was like a big old booth there. Like I'm talking like a big old booth there. And when I went by the booth, it was just like for like Sega, like I guess Sega has like a creator like program, kind of like Capcom does with their like people. So when I went there, they were having like a conference for all of those people. So I wasn't able to go in, but they handed me a flyer and all that whatnot. I signed up for the alpha. You can actually still sign up for the alpha. You can either request it through Steam or go to their website, I believe, which I don't know off the top of my head, but I imagine it's something like playhyenas.com.
Yeah, let's find that out. Hyenas game website.
It is playhyenas.com. Yep.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing, really. It's just play underscore 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 and underscore being the game, .com.
It's
Like,
better than having like whatever the
Twitter
game
handle.
is .gg, which I think is dumb. I think like a lot. I used to work for a company that had in all of our emails and stuff, it was like company name .build because we were a construction company. And like every time I gave my email to somebody, they were like, "Excuse me, it's what?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's the thing I said. I know it's weird." I'm like, I don't have a conversation explaining a domain name with people who don't know what a domain is. All this stuff. So now like I do think this trend of like play DKO, play hyenas.com is so much easier. Like the fact that you pulled the name out of thin air before you confirmed it, I'm here for it. It's easy, you know. Let's get more.
SEO 101 for the Party Invite show tonight.
Yep.
Hey.
Like and subscribe. Well, cool. So hyenas. Let's see. So you are under NDA because this is the alpha.
Yeah, it's a closed alpha, but you can still request access, like I said.
Cool. If it's in the alpha, I imagine there's no even ballpark release date.
I would imagine
Yeah, I don't see any on here that would
like
surprise me.
2024. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there because like closed alpha, because then you have to go through several betas, and then there's probably an early access period.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Sega as a company, I don't really know if they're like an early access kind of people. But Creative Assembly, maybe. I'm not sure. And Creative Assembly is actually getting a lot of work out right now. I've been seeing their logo everywhere. Like it's crazy.
Who's?
I think
Monster Energy?
no.
Because we were talking about them earlier. No, who? Oh, I do want to say before I forget. I don't know if this has crossplay. I could probably find if I click the FAQ. But this is on every platform except the Switch. It looks like. So Steam, Epic Game Store, Xbox, and PlayStation.
I mean, surprising no one. Like, what is
Yeah.
on the Switch, y'all?
Not an alpha. That's what. Doesn't even matter what the game is.
DKO's not even on the Switch. It'd be so good on that.
DKO's not on the
I don't know how it's
Switch.
not yet.
Yeah.
Because Rogue Company's still getting updates.
And also,
Just look at it.
and Multiverses wasn't on the Switch either.
Okay, that Nintendo, what's going on? They're focusing all their energy on the Mario movie, you know? So
I mean, they do have other games. I don't know. Maybe.
that's true. That's true. They have a lot of
I
ideas.
don't think they know that they do, because where's Star Fox? Where's F-Zero? Where's that? Nintendo. We had a conversation.
Yeah, we need F-Zero G. Get it? Cause Hyenas 0G. Guys, is this thing on?
F-Zero already has more G's, fewer G's.
Also, Mario Kart 8
Definitely more
Deluxe has
G's.
definitely like, well, it's anti-gravity. I don't know if that's zero gravity.
Yeah, right. It's like
It's negative gravity.
These are the questions. Well, thanks, Megan, for popping in to tell us what the number of G's was in there.
You're welcome. That'll be $100,000 because it's, science and physics and stuff.
You know. Well, yeah. While Hyenas is not on the Nintendo Switch, I mean that game looks, it checks a bunch of boxes. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't know if I've seen enough for, like, to be interested in it as much as the finals. And well, I think the finals is the best looking of all those as far as like where it's at today. But Leap also looks cool. It looks very experimental. But this almost looks. I mean, it's the alpha, right? So I'd be interested to see where this is closer to beta, and then probably apply. I mean, maybe who knows? Too many games. There are too many games out. I can't play them all. I can't play nearly as much as I want. But I do hope you check that out later.
As far as like the alpha goes, it seems already really, really polished. Like I didn't encounter like a single problem,
Wow.
and games were like lickety split. Like I didn't wait in the queue time for like ever. Um, all of the cosmetics are really cool looking. It seems like the battle pass system is, like the economy there is fine, so it doesn't feel like you're like grinding forever to get something that you want. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Usually when I have a closed alpha, I expect some kind of like, you know, jankery to happen. But I mean, for the amount of time that I played, I didn't encounter anything.
Nice. That's really nice to hear.
I think we got the first trailer for that like October or something like that last year, like mid to late last year. So I have a feeling it's probably going to release spring of next year.
All right, spring of next year, says Vilos. Free to get your bets in now.
Yeah,
Yep,
is that
on it.
I would see that's like what I think I would say too, like Q2, 2024, something like that.
All right.
And speaking of Leap, it is back to its full price now of $30.
Oh, rip. Should have taken the leap of faith when we had the chance. Well,
I told you.
yeah, for anybody who does want to join us in any of those games that Sav has been playing, join our Discord. It's discord.gg/partyinviteshow. We play a whole bunch of games in there across a bunch of different genres. So that's the best place to keep up with us. Keep in mind, a lot of people like to think that grouping up on Discord means that you need to either use Discord a lot or you need to plan far in advance. Both of those things are untrue. If you're the kind of person who finds yourself just available and you want to pop in and say, hey, is anybody available right this very moment to play a game? We've got a lot of people around to do that as well. So come play with us. There are lots to play. So that's what we've been playing. I played Noita, Vilos played El Paso Nightmare, and Sovereign played Hyenas. And now we're going to talk about our party topic, y'all. This week, the Mario movie came out, the Super Mario movie, and Vilos and Sovereign both went to the theaters to see it. We're gonna avoid spoilers for here, right? So I haven't seen it, so any questions that a normal person might have, maybe I'll be able to come up with them for you guys. But yeah, we're gonna keep this spoiler free. We ask that anybody in chat also does the same. But y'all, let's hear about it. And most importantly, actually, let's start from the beginning. How was your movie experience? Vilos, did you get that 10? I already knew the answer was no. You don't have to tell the story.
Wait, do you mean this 10?
Oh no, Sovereign. Oh, I thought I was breaking his heart.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see, I specifically bought a gift card to AMC in order to like do whatever because I knew something was coming like 2+ weeks ago. I was like, something's gonna happen, and it was before we knew that the 10 was gonna be there. And yeah, I go and I try to use the gift card from the AMC app to buy the fucking 10, and no matter what the dude, like I tried one time and the clerk that was there first at the computer did not know what to do at all.
Yeah, the computer didn't know what to do. Not
And
the clerk,
like
the computer.
he really like he was lost, and like I don't shit on retail workers or anything like that, but like that guy, he didn't know anything. because I was like, I was almost to that point where I was gonna be like, dude, I literally have been here hundreds of times. Like, I know that I can pay like this, and
You got to be like, just let me use the computer. Just get out of the way.
yeah, for real. I literally had to go to the customer service, and then I had a really nice guy go through it multiple times with me, and like nothing was working to use the gift card. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm literally broke right now. The gift card was all I had to do that. So after a long time, and Jerp can say
Oh,
that
Jerp was
he
the
was
reason I
concerned.
knew there was a story here.
Yeah, yeah, because Jerp watched it with me, and like the second that everything was for sure not gonna happen, the guy was like, "Hey, I'll give it all to you for free. It's fine. I'm sorry for this." And because it was like 15 minutes, over 15 minutes,
Oh my
and the
god.
great
Did
thing
you like
about
see any of the trailers or
no, and that's fine and great, because all the trailers are getting worse. But yeah,
that is so true.
AMC literally has more than 15 minutes of trailers before every movie, and so I missed all that, and that's great. But at the end of the day, he was actually gonna offer it all to me for free, and I was just like, I'll just take the popcorn and soda, whatever. Like I don't need the tin anymore. Like it just frustrated me to the point that I'm like, no,
You're
Wait, so
like,
you were offered a free tin
yeah.
and you
So
didn't take it?
I just took the popcorn, and it was all a whole thing because there were a shit ton of people there,
you
and
could
I was
say
just
that
like, no,
Vilas was feeling salty, huh?
yeah,
He
For like a free
I absolutely was.
Vilas
I
would
still
give that
took the popcorn
experience
and the soda.
a 0 out of 10.
Yeah, the experience wasn't great. Although it was funny because like it was me and Jerp, and somehow next to him were two of my coworkers, like and their family. I was just like, okay, this has now become funny. But yeah, so the experience at the theater was a little weird. It was disappointing because of the tin thing, but otherwise great.
Wait, I'm so confused. So he offered you the soda and the popcorn and stuff for free. Did he offer you the tin for free?
Yes, he offered the tin, but I would have had to have gone and grabbed a tin in plastic and gotten my popcorn like separate. It was the whole thing. Yeah.
This still free tin.
But also, again, literally, the movie started like seconds after I sat down. So
Well,
I
and
don't know,
that's
like,
the end of our
wait, is it
discussion
I
on the
have
Mario
another
movie.
chance. Okay, I can go try again.
like the penny picture in me is just like, shoot, I don't care if I miss half an hour of that movie. You better give me that free shit. Like, I can always
Yeah,
come back and purchase
that's
another ticket and watch what I missed. Give me that 10 right now. Give it to me.
that's not me, Saul. Although the A list, I could literally get 3 tickets a week. So like it does that part doesn't matter for sure. I'll
Yeah.
probably try
I'm
again.
so mad at you right now.
Wow. So there you
But
are.
I have a 10, so I don't care.
Hey.
Yeah, so Saab's experience was stellar, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
So
actually, it was a lot of fun. So, I went to like this dine-in AMC, and it wasn't the complete like Alamo experience that I was expecting. You just order like all the food that you want beforehand, and then they bring it to you during the trailers of the movies, which I think is fine. But then also, you're still watching the movie. So if you're watching the movie, you have like a big old smorgasbord in front of you, if you eat, if you don't pace yourself properly, you'll be eating some cold food. But it was a really nice theater. It had hardwood floors, no carpets. So I'm just like, first of all, that's awesome for the employees because they don't have to, get on their hands and knees and scrub out like sticky soda and, baby pee and all that whatnot.
Ugh.
But like, I don't know, they had like really nice leather recliners, and then like they had some like hardwood tables on which you could put the food. Like it was a really snazzy theater. And it used to be a Cinetopia. So it had a really, really snazzy bar on the upper level that had like a fireplace, and
Wow.
like it was cool. And then the manager of the bar was like the one who was like bartending, and so like he was like really jovial, and he let us go to like the VIP section and like take some pictures because it was like all roped off, but no one was up there, and like it was awesome. It was a great experience,
All right.
and
Well,
and I got a 10,
now we know that Sav had a 10 out of 10. Vilas did not.
a 10 out of 10. Because I got the 10.
But how was the once the movie actually started? What's your spoiler free takeaway? Seems like people have good things to say.
Okay, well, I mean, I could start with this one because I think mine is just kind of like an overall sort of just like general generic like perspective, since because I really want to, me, y'all. I mean, if y'all been watching this podcast for as long as you have, and you don't know that I'm like a Nintendo file by now. I don't know what to tell you. Like, so once this movie's been out for a while, we are going to do a deep dive into it. I will guarantee you that. But as I was enjoying the popcorn from my tin, uh,
The knife
and
just goes deeper. It's great.
the movie opens up, and you like hear all of these familiar tunes. They have the jingles, and you're just hit with that rush of just nostalgia immediately. It's just like, I'm about to watch a Nintendo movie and it's gonna feel so great and amazing, and I'm gonna be filled with such like nostalgia and Nintendo joy, and it's gonna unlock my inner childhood. It's like basically watching Scott Pilgrim in theaters all over again. Except for this time it's like the actual intellectual property owner. And I don't know, it's a transcendent experience. And speaking back more to my movie experiences, there was like three children in there. So it was quiet. There weren't children like screaming and guffawing and laughing and heaving and hawing at the screen. It was amazing.
Yeah, you went to the right theater for that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really happy. Um, so I got to hear all the music. And the thing is, Koji Kondo is the one who's behind the score for this. I mean, among others, but Koji Kondo was credited as the lead music guy, who, for those who don't know, is like the main,
I muted myself because I was eating. How embarrassing! I hope that was his name in the credits. He's the
like the
the
lead
main,
music guy.
yeah, main music guy.
The music guy. You have the shy guy, and you have the music guy. But no,
Oh my gosh, the shy. Oh
lead
goodness.
composer, I guess. I don't know what the actual title nomenclature is, but he was the one responsible. For those who don't know, he's the guy who's like the main music guy behind the Legend of Zelda series. So, um, all the original music in that is just like renditions of like every Mario song under the sun. I mean, you have callbacks to the mainline games, the spin-off games, and just like, the racing games even. It just if there's a Mario game out there, there's going to be a musical reference to that game. And I was just so surprised how deep they dug into their like well of availability. Like I'm surprised they didn't even break out some like Hotel Mario where Mario was missing music, you know, something.
Right.
Um, there is a certain song that I was expecting in the movie, um, and it was Do the Mario. I won't say here whether or not it appears. So more reason for you to go see it so you can find out. Bam, suspense,
Boom.
and also get yourself a 10. So yeah, I was thoroughly pleased with like the musical parts of it, except Illumination has this really frustrating habit as a studio of just jamming pop music in there, just shoehorning it in there, just, to quote unquote create a mood, or like evoke some kind of emotion or anything like that. And that is no different in this movie. There are a couple of points in the movie where they just shove some pop music in there, and it's not even like recent pop music. It's like, it's the music that you would expect. Like
Well,
I,
y-
I'm trying to explain it without giving away what kind of songs you would hear.
well, Shell still said it. I mean, it really is. It really is part of the age group thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's fair. Yeah. So like if you are like a mid to late millennial, or whatever the generation is
yeah,
before that, an
elder
elder,
millennial.
that sounds so like
That's
eldritch.
that's me.
The elder millennial.
Right.
Pretend or prepare for me to speak to the manager. No, like, but yeah, I mean, if you watched Vine, you'll probably understand some of the music that they used. I guess that's the best way I could put it.
Lol.
And it just doesn't serve any purpose. Like I'm just vibing along to like an original Nintendo score, and a scene will open up and like a sequence will begin, and all of a sudden, bam, pop music. And I'm just like,
What's going
well,
on here?
now if I wanted to watch this somewhere, like, have a watch party or something, I'm gonna get DMCA.
And the thing with that is also that they remix enough of the Mario stuff. Like
And there's so
they
much to
didn't do
choose
shit.
from.
They didn't do anything with the old songs they put in. They just put them in there.
They just put them in there as
And
is.
the only good from that is that at least one of them was One of them was we've mentioned it before, but one of them was at least diegetic music. It was on screen, that it was happening on screen, and you're like, okay, fine, things are
Yeah,
happening
things
in,
like that is
story,
kind of
but
forgivable. Yeah. I will say that when like when it comes to that kind of thing, diegetic music, it's really important to choose the right song. Um, Without the diegetic music, I don't think they did that at all. Like it was like, oh yeah, this is a cool song. But now I'm like my immersion's broken. It's definitely not a Nintendo movie anymore because that song exists. Does that song exist in the Nintendo realm now? Like there are so many questions.
Well, well,
I don't know.
would you, would you see it again? Like, did you like it enough to, buy it at home or to go in the theaters and see it again? Would
Oh
you?
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
go watch this in movie. If it's possible, I'm going to see this movie like once a week somehow. I will find a way. I will do it. I will sign up right now for the A-lister. Actually, Vilos, aren't you a member? Let's go.
yeah, let's
yeah,
go.
go on
Let's go.
Let's go. I
Tuesdays.
need to see it again. I need to try to get that fucking 10. I'm gonna try again with the gift card though. That's the thing. Gonna see.
Well,
That's the
surprise
key.
last.
Well, cool.
But no, I like there's so many Easter eggs and everything in it. Like it's so hard to you really want to go the first time to like see it for the movie. Because otherwise you'll be too distracted by all the Easter eggs, references, and everything that there because there's so many. There are so many. You don't want to lose yourself looking for those and not even know what's happening in the movie. Because the movie itself, I mean, it's a standard movie, like it's a standard adventure movie. It doesn't shake up the genre, it doesn't do anything new or anything like that. But it does use the Mario IP, which makes it just more exciting, period. So, like if you like adventure movies and if you like video game movies, and if you like Mario, go see the movie. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer. It's a Mario movie made by Nintendo. And Illumination has a really good track record. They did um the Sing series, which is one of my favorite movie series, like animated movie series. They did Sing. They did shoot. Like Despicable Me, yeah, and Minions and all that stuff. I didn't really care for those. But they they they're still good. So, it's cool. There's I would say just go see it first, digest the movie, then come on back and then do the, prop hunting
Yeah.
and get a 10.
That's nice. That with such an IP that's been around for such a long time. Uh, was it Violence? Did you say somewhere you were like this movie's great for people who never stopped playing these games?
Oh yeah. That was my Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, because Mario isn't just one game, or even just the Mario franchise. I mean, we saw in the trailer that there are other characters and stuff that surprised me. I was not expecting to see those in this movie because, of course, and I have not seen the movie. Because of course, when I watched the last trailer that they came out with, I was like, how are they gonna fit all of this stuff in the movie? Like this movie's gonna be 3 hours long, which in a lot of context is perfectly fine with me. But I'm like, bruh, they aren't making a 3 hour Mario movie. Uh, you
No,
know,
and it's barely an hour and a half.
that's wild. Well, that's good, honestly. I think that's a good
Wait, is it only
amount.
like that short?
Yeah, it was
Maybe I
short.
was just like so engrossed that
It
it just
didn't
felt
feel
like a
like it
lifetime. But
when
like it
when
was
we were
it
doing it. Yeah.
yeah. But they do a really good job of like tying all the characters that they introduced together, without like oversaturating the movie or convoluting it with like any kind of like subplot or anything like that. So I mean, I don't unless you've been well, okay. I was gonna say unless you've been avoiding a trailer, this is a spoiler, but there's a particularly macabrely cheerful character that you are introduced to in the trailer. And so when they introduced that, I was like, wait, is the what is the consequence of that? Are we gonna see like all of those everything to do with that character? But no, not yet, not yet. I think that the way that they have road mapped the movie can open it up to I mean, I think that we're gonna get like a whole Nintendo cinematic universe now. Because it does open up with like a big Nintendo splash thing, kind of like the Sonic movies did with that Sega thing, where they have like the little splash thing that says, Sega. It does open up with a Nintendo splash. So I'm excited to see what kind of things we might get in the future. I did read that Nintendo would be happy to work with Illumination again. And so, I mean, what else could we get out of that? You know?
Yeah, after watching, it's absolutely guaranteed that they set this up for 2 or 3 movies. No doubt about it.
2 or 3 Mario movies?
Miyamoto, I'm sure, was like, "Hey, this is what we could do." And Illumination was like, "We like money. Yes."
There are some questions I want to ask you, but I don't want you to tell me the answer. you know, so I'm afraid to ask too specific questions. Oh, hello, bird.
Lol. That's so funny.
What's going on over
Yeah,
there?
so that if you guys wanna see a hawk picture, there's the hawk picture.
Wow.
I totally don't do that, take hawk pictures
What?
outside my window
That was
sometimes.
so random.
Spring has
It's a
sprung
hawk, what
around
is yours?
here. I've been taking a bunch of pretty pictures. I was driving to work the other day, and there's this crazy view. I know I'm off topic here, but there are mountains in 4 directions around Seattle. So on my way to work, it was like really dark and cloudy, like black out. I mean, it was dark, and the sun was up above the clouds though. But the mountains that were off to the west on the Olympic Peninsula were like super bright and clear because the sun hit those over the clouds, even though there wasn't any sun where we were. And I saw that. I mean, I was driving, so I couldn't like stop and take a picture. But I was like, man, I don't know if I can move away from here now that I'm here. We got one of the pictures that's in our slideshow here on Twitch. That was me just driving on the highway, and I'm like, dang, dude. Uh, you got your hawk pictures. I got all my stuff in the slideshow.
Yeah.
It's the good stuff.
Yeah.
You know what we need a picture of in the slideshow now, though. We need a picture of that tent. Uh,
Yeah, so it can
Wait,
haunt me forever, yeah.
yeah.
which one? You mean this one?
Oh,
Oh, I think it's that one, yeah.
oh, savage. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm almost nervous to ask you guys some questions like, was this character in it or anything like that. But the movie looked
Well,
like it was clearly opening up this whole world beyond just Mario, but incorporating a bunch of the characters that Mario comes into contact with across a lot of different games. Um, yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. I wonder if they will, in future movies, again, I have not seen it, if they will stay focused on Mario or if they would really lean in the direction of these other characters and whatever incorporation that would be. But people would show up and see it. I mean, when you've got the budget that Nintendo has behind a movie like this, it seems, especially. I mean, I wasn't surprised when I've only heard good things,
mhm.
but it's not really about like, is it going to be good? It's in what way will it be good? Because it seems like they've kind of pegged their audience. I mean, Nintendo knows their audience very well, not just with Mario, but just across the board. I think, even though I rage on them for failing to keep their website online during pre-orders and stuff, but they have
And also the currencies.
that expire. Oh my gosh, and the e-shop is terrible, but they do understand their audience pretty well, all things considered. So yeah, I would be interested if they lean into the extended universe or really focus on Mario. I feel like either way they could do very well. People would show up to either of those movies. Then the question would be, do they stick to movies or do they start to blend into like TV shows? There was an old Mario and Luigi TV show. There was an old Mario movie in the 90s. They've
And
tried
there's
these
also
things.
like manga and anime too. And I think that this movie kind of aligns itself more with those um like media than the American like cartoons and things like that. Because what all we know about Princess Peach, is that she is the damsel in distress. You have to go save her, blah blah blah. It is not that way in the comics, like at all. She is like such a heroine. In fact, you know what? Everything that people like about Daisy, Peach is
Oh,
like in the comics.
oh,
Like
we got solved to that point. Uh-oh.
you already knew what's coming.
Uh-oh.
And I love that this movie shows Peach in that light because she was always meant to be strong. The original reason she was kidnapped was because she was too strong. Bowser's like, I don't need you messing up my plans and breaking my magic and stuff, so you coming with me. And the only reason she went willingly was to protect her citizens. And so when you see like the trailer and if you go see the movie, you see that she's like super duper badass and shit. And I'm just like, thank you. Finally. Like people will know and people will finally put some respect on her name because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, y'all. I'm sick of it.
And I'm gonna take half of the discussion that I had on the doc off there to add to that point, um, because I was worried that we'd ruin a lot of things by having so much shit in the trailers. And yes, I think a few moments were ruined for me because of the trailers. Um, but that said, uh, it was really funny hearing you be like, "Are we gonna focus on Mario, Tegan?" Because no, we didn't focus on Mario in the first movie, so that's
That's good.
like Nintendo actually made. Well, it was mostly, I think it was a larger part Illumination probably this go round, because there were still jokes somewhat at Peach's expense between relationship bullshit,
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah. Yeah.
but because they just can't get away from that. They're like, "Kids, do you like when we keep patriarchy together?" Like, that kind of shit. But no, it really is her movie this go round, and um, without getting into it, the thing is that we do need to see some origin kind of things for some of these characters that we don't know much about, and they do straight up give us hints
Like
a
where did the
lot.
They do
Hammer
straight up
Bros
wait, hold
come
on.
from?
Can we dissect that phrase for a second? They straight up, as in very, elaboratively, right, give us hints, which are by nature obscurative. So
They absolutely gave us all of a tiny bit, you
I
know?
mean, I could just say that things happen, but
I mean, yeah, no, you definitely want to go see this movie and see what he's talking about for sure. And it's not even just like a Peach movie. It's like they do a really good job of highlighting everyone in the movie, you know. Even though we see like this is a trailer thing, we see that Luigi's in trouble. Um, he still gets a lot of screen time. Usually when you're kidnapped or something on screen, you just show up for like a moment and just like, help, I'm in trouble. And then it's back to like the hero and all that whatnot. But no, they do a really good job of putting the camera on everyone that is like, that needs their screen time.
Mhm.
I'm actually really surprised at how frequently we saw comic, which is amazing. So I mean, if you have a favorite character like from the Nintendo universe or well yeah, the Nintendo universe, and you know that their um IP is
The
going to be represented in this movie, then you will be happy because they do some deep cuts.
Well, I can't wait to see the future of the Mario Cinematic Universe, the
are,
MCU.
did the kidnappers give you a script, Tegan? Is that where you're reading?
Yep. Yeah. No, everything is fine. They are treating me well. They give me plenty of coins.
Wait, who is they?
Yes.
The kidnappers? He's
Oh wow. uh,
I mean, you're right on that sub. Like the every character did get a little bit of a moment to shine. I was surprised that we actually got characters, but we didn't get caricatures, and we didn't get the same voices that we've heard before. Keegan Michael Key was very edited. You
say
you could
edited. I would say they like he is doing a voice.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a little bit more mechanical than his talent. Like he's talented and he can do voices, but it was definitely a Toad alteration. Charlie Day was less Charlie Day than usual. Chris Pratt was less Chris Pratt than usual.
I still
And
love that
Um,
yeah,
he.
like that really surprised me. I had no faith at all that we would be
Wait,
like even
what?
remotely
uh,
entertained.
Anya
You.
Taylor Joy was her, and Jack Black was obviously, definitely, constantly himself. But that was also because of how he was written.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were gonna
You
say
are
how
you
he
are
was
going to be
raised.
very pleased. I mean, that probably contributes to it too,
He's born that way. He was
Uh,
born
let
Bowser.
you know, just gotta for those that haven't seen it. Jack Black, for some reason, has a writing credit on a song in the movie. I mean,
I mean,
Wow,
you can't
I
you
I
can't
didn't
have
know
Jack
he wrote pop music.
oh,
That's crazy.
Yeah, Bowser's in there, singing "I Kissed a Girl." It's great. No.
Actually, that is a very Illumination thing to do.
Is Bowser in a band and it's called Tenacious B? Huh?
Oh, it should have been.
Oh man,
It could have been.
we'll get him next time. You know.
No, it would be called like the Coop Troop or something. But you're right about that. Like we definitely got, especially when it came to Chris Pratt. I was so ready to just be mad about that.
You were so mad for so
I was
long.
mad about it because like
you
see
barely
his
would
track
say his
record.
name. I get it, and I still laugh at the fact that when the casting was first announced, he was like, "This voice is gonna be like nothing you've ever heard before," and then it's just it's just his voice.
Yeah, it's just his voice.
It still wasn't mind blowing, but at the same time, they literally made multiple accent jokes in the movie on purpose. So it's like, all right, you guys are kind of forgiven.
That's good.
Kind of.
That was like
mostly.
in WandaVision when they were like, yeah, where'd your accent go? It's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
She's been Americanized.
Well, cool. I'm glad you guys had such a good time. So that came out. It's Thursday right now. So that came out
Wednesday.
last night.
Wednesday, yes. And then there have been early screenings for as soon as the 1st of April I've seen. So, I mean, it's been I'm surprised because I don't know when the embargo lifted, but I mean, for it to have been out that long, and I'm not like terminally online, but I do spend a lot of time online, and I wasn't spoiled like at all.
Yeah,
So, I
that
mean,
is nice.
it's really nice. I feel like people are finally starting to get the fact that people don't like to talk about the movies as soon as they come out like online, because it's just like there's such a risk of people being spoiled, and people don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool. It's cool.
It is cool. It's like what was the other thing? There was some. Oh, it was The Last of Us that just finished airing a few weeks ago. Obviously a lot of people already know what's going to happen because it's based on the game, but I was really pleasantly surprised. I didn't see any spoilers, not any blatant ones, anywhere on the internet the entire time that show was on. That was really encouraging and pretty surprising, I thought. Because with so many people who could have had discussions about spoilers in those comments, I can't believe I never saw it,
Yeah.
It's nice. Thanks, everybody. Sometimes we can have nice things. It's great.
I mean, it's kind of the same way with like when you play a Mario game, you know what you're getting, right? Of course, they do kind of flip the formula in the fact that Peach is a stronger presence in the movie, but at the same time, it's still a Mario adventure. So you still know kind of like the bullet points of what to expect during a Mario. So like, if you did want to talk about it, um, it would be kind of like in that same boat as The Last of Us. It's like, well, we already know what's going to happen. Kind of. There's definitely some creative liberties to make it more interesting, and kind of put like a new spin, breathe some fresh life into that franchise. But like for the most part, it's a Mario experience. So um, I don't know. It's just like the ultimate love letter, y'all.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's worth seeing, and like the one thing that I will say I was surprised about, and it's again not a spoiler, but like just the fact that it feels like that there's action coming, at some point in the movie, um, especially with the thing that I think it was a trailer that went around again yesterday that had all the Peach doing like her obstacle course sort of run, that was very reminiscent of a stage. There are a couple moments that are specifically, hey gamer, like, is this how you feel when you play Mario games? And like those moments were actually not just silly; they weren't just goofy. But there's actually moments that felt like we were watching a freaking anime, as far as like how the action goes, and it's just like this is pleasantly surprising. Like this, I didn't expect, and it's very nice. Like you kind of feel that Marvel momentum in a movie these days. You're just like, all right, there's going to be like 3 or 4 set pieces that I'm going to really enjoy, right? And it's going to get me emotionally or visually, and they hit on all of them in this movie, and couple couple really got me.
That's nice. All right. Well, those are 2 big thumbs up from the team. Yeah, I'll be interested to hear more thoughts from people in the community as they go to see it too. I even with those glowing reviews, I just because I haven't been to the theater lately, I probably won't see it until it's on Nintendo Plus or whatever. But
You better watch that right now. You better go in there. You better watch it.
I promise they're not going to make a Nintendo Plus for you, Tegan.
Oh
They're gonna
man,
make sure that
The
it's
only thing
never
they really
available.
have is just like the Nintendo Switch Online app, which doesn't show movies. But apparently, if Netflix can get games now,
yep.
No, no, they actually create a new handheld console that only plays the movie. That's what's gonna
don't you
happen.
dare speak that out into the
It'll be
universe.
it'll be
Why
a
would
Game
you?
and Watch thing again.
No, actually,
Actually, you know what? I kind of like that idea.
you watch it on your Switch, but you actually need a dongle for it. Or you can watch it on the Switch, but you can only hear the audio from the movie if you have a
Yes.
dongle uh, plugged into your headphones.
You gotta buy the goggles if you want to do the
Honestly,
visual part,
if
yeah.
they released like a mix of the movie that didn't have those pop like songs in it, I could see that actually happening. Like they released the movie specifically like on the Switch or like on an app or something.
Yo, if I could
Yeah.
get the Mario movie on a cartridge,
That
let's
would be
do this,
great.
Nintendo.
They're already releasing like collector's editions of music and stuff, and there's a tape cassette in one of them that I saw.
I am
So
getting that. It's like $20, so I'm getting that.
God, I don't even have like a record player, and I want the vinyl. Like,
Well, I think then we'll wrap up the show. Like I said, if anybody out there sees Mario in the next week or so, please pop into our Discord. We got a wonderful movies and TV channel in there, and Discord, for those who don't know, has wonderful tools to be able to chat about spoilers, but hide them from people who don't click into them. It's the only place I feel comfortable talking about spoilers on the internet, actually. So join up with us over there. You can find all of our socials and all that good stuff on our website at partyinvite.games. We have been Tegan, Vilos, also his hawk out the window.
Yeah.
Does the hawk have a name?
No, she does not.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, they'll go uncredited at the end of the show. And we have Sovereign.
that's me.
You can find on their channel, twitch.tv/sovereignsid. Let's see, what else do I know? As far as stuff going on in our community right now, tomorrow is going to be our final regularly scheduled Sons of the Forest session. We'll still have it in our rotation, so if you'd still like to join us to build or just to chill out in there, we've unlocked most of the stuff in the game, or at least we're like 95% of the way through the like story in there. But if that's something you'd like to play, come play with us. We also have Grounded, which Odysseus mentioned in chat earlier. We have Project Zomboid. We have Valheim. We have Don't Starve Together. We love our survival games here. We also play a ton of shooters. I mean, Sop's talking about a different one every week, it seems. But we have
I'll definitely have a new one next week, maybe.
Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't bet
I'm
against
joking, but I actually might.
Because we're playing anything from Overwatch and Rogue Company to people like Halo. People play Call of Duty. We got a bunch of that stuff. And then Vilas is always looking for people to talk about JRPGs too. So join in for all of that. For everybody else, stick around. We're gonna play Pentiment. We've got to be approaching the end of Pentiment, right? We've got to be somewhere. Who knows? I don't know.
We may be almost halfway.
Group streams are hard. It's really tough to play that game with anything that resembles speed. But we're gonna do it. Well, let's wrap up the show. We'll take a quick break. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for accepting our party invite. And we'll catch you again here soon. Okay.
Thanks for playing.
Bye.